All right, it's week 2 of the NFL season. So I'm going through giving you my picks for all 16 games on the slate this week against the spread. Let's hop on into it. Okay, first up, a great game on Thursday night. We got the Washington Commanders at the Green Bay Packers. Packers laying 3.5 here. And I thought the Packers looked good against the Lions, but I thought they could have looked better. I thought they left some offensive possessions on the table. They could have really run that thing up against Detroit, and they just didn't do their own play calling incompetence, their weird kind of cutesy fruitsy stuff they get into. And the Commanders, same thing. They looked all right. The defense was fine. Dreadful Giants offense. And the offense took care of business. They struggled a bit to score, didn't really get much going on the ground from their running backs. Bill did get a touchdown or catch a touchdown. He ran into did get a touchdown. Solid day on the ground. Jaden also added like 70 on the ground, but it was kind of a slog for Washington. Receivers, we're going to get Terry back into the flow of things. I do like the Packers to win this game, but I think the 3.5 is just a bit too much. I'm going to take the Commanders to cover here on Thursday. Should be a fun one. Should be a close game. Going to be a lot of fun. Okay, Jags, Bengals. And look, the Bengals were dreadful against the Browns in week 1. I mean, 7 total yards in the second half. Disastrous. And the Jaguars game was kind of weird. They dominated the Panthers. They had lightning delay, but Trevor Lawrence wasn't that great. Under 200 yards passing from him. Now, if he doesn't miss that touchdown to Travis Hunter instead of a great interception by J.C. Horn, this stat line looks a lot different for him. I still haven't seen the Jaguars defense tested yet. Obviously, the Panthers offense was so bad. I am very concerned about this Bengals offensive line. If they can't protect, there are going to be a lot of consequences. Joe Burrow not comfortable, but I think the Bengals have a nice bounce back game. The defense isn't great, but I do think they will be able to slow down this rushing attack, and I just not 100% bought in yet to the Jaguars offense, but I am monitoring it. I'm going to swallow the 3.5 here for the Bengals in a nice little bounce back spot. All right, Giants at the Cowboys. Look, I just talked about how dog shit the Giants offense is. They're rolling Russell Wilson out there once again, but the defense is very good. The defense is one of the best defenses in the league, especially in the front. Secondary, not as good, but their front four, excellent. And the Cowboys, you know what? I was kind of impressed with what I saw from them. They were not a disaster. Liked how the young offensive line was able to gel. Now, no Jalen Carter helps out a lot. This passing attack is legit. If CeeDee Lamb learns how to catch the football, they could have easily stolen that game from the Eagles. And the defense wasn't great. They weren't getting any stops against the Eagles, but they did turn it on in the second half after that lightning delay. Cowboys coming off a long rest, played on Thursday. Giants played on Sunday. Cowboys at home. I think this is a nice edge. Give me the Cowboys minus 5.5 here. I really liked what I saw from them in week 1. Okay, let's get a little spicy here. We got the Detroit Lions hosting the Chicago Bears. Both teams 0-1. Lions laying 5.5 in a dreadful performance against the Green Bay Packers. They kind of got worked on every aspect of the game. The offense was bad. They weren't able to run the ball. I didn't love the new play calling. It feels like they're missing a lot of juice that young Ben Johnson has now brought over to the Chicago Bears. And look, it was a really bad finish for the Bears. They let the Vikings come back. Defense kind of got gassed out. They couldn't stop the run game, let J.J. McCarthy get hot. And Caleb Williams, man, oh man, that was a tough second half. He was okay when the game was scripted, started 10 for 10, but still missed some downfield throws. Wasn't super accurate. Did love what he did with his legs, but this Lions defense was not good at all against the Packers. They slowed down the running game a bit for Josh Jacobs, but the Bears didn't really run the ball to any sort of success against Minnesota either. So I think this is going to be an interesting game. And I'm very concerned about the Lions here. They are at home. There's some juice on them. Short week for the Bears, but I'm going to take the Bears getting 5.5. The Bears have actually had some success against Detroit in the past few seasons when the Lions were an absolute wagon and the Bears were kind of trash. Ben Johnson's going to have some secrets up there. I think the Lions win this game, but I think it's a close one down to the wire. Okay, the Los Angeles Rams heading to the Tennessee Titans. And look, Tennessee had a tough go of it week 1. I didn't think Cam Ward looked that bad. Now, his teammates let him down. They couldn't really block for him. His head coach wasn't great, but the defense was outstanding. Really struggled offensively for the Broncos. They kept them in that game. And I thought if Cam Ward had a little bit better play design and time, he could have been more effective overall in this game, and his receivers could have helped him out. Now, Matthew Stafford, the back held up. That was really nice. I think this is a really interesting game. Battle of two very good defenses. I trust the Rams more, but I am a bit concerned about Stafford's back. It looked like he used all that muscle and strength in the first half, and he was kind of just getting along there in the second half. I'm actually going to take the Titans here at home, getting 5.5 points. I think the Rams squeak out a win in this one, but I think we're going to get a strong performance from Tennessee. Coming back home, the offense is going to look better. The Rams defense is awesome, but it's somehow, a downgrade compared to the Broncos defense. So life is going to be a little bit easier here for Tennessee. Give me the Titans plus 5.5. Okay, the poop bowl of the week, the New England Patriots traveling to the Miami Dolphins, and Miami was easily the worst team in week one. They were an absolute disaster, get housed by the Colts. Nothing looked right, nothing looked crisp. And the Patriots really weren't sharp either, really struggled offensively. Drake May was not good. They weren't able to get a run game going. The defense was all right, did a good job keeping the Raiders out of the end zone in that game. But this is a weird one. The Patriots historically do not play well in Miami, but I think the Dolphins are an abject disaster right now. There's so much going on, and their head coach just doesn't seem prepared. He doesn't seem professional. I know this Mike Vrabel team is going to be prepared. They're going to be buttoned up. They may not be the most talented. They may not be the best team, but I think they're disciplined, unlike this Dolphins train wreck. Give me the Patriots with 1.5 on the road. Not super confident in this one, but I'm just going to take more stability versus chaos. Okay, the San Francisco 49ers traveling to the New Orleans Saints. Now, this line I'm sure has moved as Brock Purdy seems like he is not going to be playing in this game. In comes McCorkle Mac Jones. And I didn't think the Saints looked that bad in week one against the Cardinals. Now, I'm not very high on the Cardinals like some other people are, but they seemed okay. The defense was fine. The offense wasn't a disaster out there. But the 49ers defense with Robert Saleh back in there as coordinator really looked good against the Seattle Seahawks. So this is going to be a slog. I think there's no weapons but Christian. We're living in a world where Christian McCaffrey is the healthiest person on the 49ers offense. That's a scary world to live in here. I'm going to take the points with the Saints. I think this is going to be a slog. Maybe comes down to the newly signed kicker, Eddie Pinheiro in San Francisco. They outgoes Jake Moody. The special team's going to be better. Kicked in the stadium before in the division. So I'm going to take the Saints at 4.5. It's going to be ugly. I think the Niners do walk away, though, with a dub in week 2. Okay, Bills traveling to the Jets. 6.5 is the line. Jets getting a hefty 6.5 at home. Now, it is under that touchdown number, which is a key number for us. But I thought the Jets offensively looked really good against Pittsburgh. Justin Fields was running all over the place. They got Breece Hall involved, and they had a nice couple of throws. That touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson, promising. Now, the Jets defense was horrendous against Pittsburgh. They got carved up by the old man Rodgers. On the flip side, the Bills could not stop the run whatsoever against Baltimore. So the Jets are going to have a productive day on offense, I think. They're going to be able to run the ball. Now, maybe they stack the box because it's not Lamar Jackson back there that can also throw and force Fields to beat them with his arm. Jets probably not going to stop Josh Allen. This is a juggernaut. Allen's on a revenge tour. It looks like what a comeback win for the Bills. I'm going to take the Bills because it's under that touchdown, but anything at 7 or plus, I really like the Jets in this game. I think it's going to be a fun fantasy game again in MetLife Stadium. Okay, we got the Seattle Seahawks traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers with a nice win in week 1. Seahawks with a tough loss in week 2. Now, I am concerned about this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. They got gashed against the Jets, and the Seahawks have a dynamic rushing attack. I mean, 2 of the best running back duo in the league. We got Sharbs, we got K9. Now, Sam Darnold in this offense is going to be a pain in the ass to watch. Threw for 150 yards, 124 to Jackson Smith and Jigba against the 49ers. Had the late turnover, kind of ugly, but I've been preaching how good the Seahawks defense is. They are legit. This is a top unit in the NFL. They are so good with Mike Macdonald. Mike Macdonald, a lot of experience going against these Steelers teams, but it is a little bit of a new offense for them. I really liked what I saw from Pittsburgh's offense. I wish they would get the running game involved more, but they were able to sling the rock around there. I'm actually going to take Pittsburgh here, laying the 2.5 at home. Under the field goal number is a very good number here. I think it's a close game. I think the Steelers do walk away from this one victorious. West to east, also a big factor. Seattle, long travel, early time slot. I just also don't trust Sam Darnold. Not a gamer, feels like, once he's outside of that Minnesota Vikings system. So give me the Steelers minus 2.5. Okay, Ravens-Browns this week. Both teams with disaster losses in week 1. The Ravens blowing a 15-point fourth quarter lead after absolutely dominating the Buffalo Bills. And the Browns schmitting down their pants with their new kicker, Mr. Schmidt, missing the game-winning field goal, or the go-ahead field goal, missing an extra point that would have just had the game tied already. So I really liked what I saw from Cleveland. They were a lot better than I think we thought they would be. Their defense still very good. Myles Garrett still the best pass rusher in the NFL. And the offense was okay. You know, there wasn't much of a run game to speak of. The offensive line was hit or miss, but they did a good job getting the ball out to their rookie running back, Dylan Sampson. Quinshon Judkins is coming back. Who knows what kind of impact he's going to have. Now, he has missed a lot of time. I'm not expecting a lot. Harold Fannin Jr., the rookie tight end out of Bowling Green, 7 receptions, a rookie tight end record in week 1, tied with another rookie, Tyler Warren. So really big day from him. And you know what? Their skill position guy's not bad. And the 2 interceptions by Flacco, not his fault. That being said, this is a terrible spot for the Browns. Ravens blow that game. This is a very good football team. They're going to put their foot on the throat here once they get a lead because they've blown way too many of these double-digit leads. I think the Browns are going to grind this thing out, though, and the 12.5 is just a little bit too much for me. I'm going to swallow and take the Browns plus 12.5 here. 12.5 just too much to swallow with the Ravens, but it is a concern that if the Ravens do get ahead early in this one, like they go up 14, it's going to turn into 28 very fast with a pissed off Ravens team. But I think the Browns are going to be able to hang in this one. Not really a close game, not really competitive, but not a complete and total slaughter. Give me the Browns plus 12.5. Okay, Denver Broncos traveling to the Indianapolis Colts, and I'm not buying this Colts hype. I think the Dolphins are just terrible. Not buying into Danny Dimes. And honestly, he didn't even play that well. They were just in such fortuitous field position there. Had one nice throw to Michael Pittman for a touchdown, but it was easy sledding. They kicked a lot of field goals. Denver's offense was dreadful against Tennessee's defense. The Colts defense is not the Tennessee Titans defense. So it's going to look a little bit better. They're going to make some adjustments. I did like what I saw out of the running back room in Denver, and the Denver defense is the best defense in football, I'll say. They come at you in waves. They make your life hell. And Danny Dimes is going to turn the ball over a couple of times in this one, I think. I'm taking the Broncos minus 2.5 on the road here. Not even going to sweat it. I think this is a great spot for Denver. I don't buy the Colts hype. Okay, the Arizona Cardinals laying 6.5 at home to the Carolina Panthers, and I really want to take the Carolina Panthers. I am not high on this Arizona Cardinals team, but they just look so bad in week one. The receiver core is all banged up. The only guy that's worth a damn and healthy is Ted McMillan, the rookie, who did look good in week one, but the offensive line also making some money, but also kind of trash. They're not very good. Bryce Young's under duress. He's not comfortable. They can't get the run game going with Chuba Hubbard as much as I like them. This defense is still so terrible. They really can't stop anybody. They need some help, some big plays. The Cardinals, kind of whatever, but if they do start getting stops against this Cardinals offense, it's going to turn to shit. Kyler Murray's going to be mopey and pouty on the sidelines. I do think the Cardinals defense is solid enough, though. The offense is going to get the job done. 6.5 is a big number. It's kind of scary, but I am worried that this Panthers team may just be terrible. So I'm going to take 6.5 here with the Cardinals. Don't love this pick, but got to make them all. Okay, Super Bowl rematch in Kansas City as the Eagles travel to Kansas City. And I was not really impressed with either of these teams in week one. The Eagles offense made my eyes want to bleed. There was no juice. There was no love. Like, it just felt awful. The Eagles defense did enough to get the win. So did the offense, but it just felt bad. Now, the lightning delay could have had an effect. Not loving the new play calling in Philadelphia. Feels like they've lost a little bit of edge there. Kansas City, you know what? Tough loss, weird spot. The secondary looks awful in the Kansas City Chiefs, but they're going to get that figured out, but it's going to take some time. Defensive line, Chris Jones freaking out. He sold that game, giving up the run to Herbert, so I'm worried about that. Offensive line, still an issue in Kansas City. Jawan Taylor might be the worst free agent signing by a good team ever for like an impactful starter ever. He's just so bad every single year. A million penalties. And they got no skill position guys. Rashee Rice suspended. Xavier Worthy got taken out by Travis Kelce. Now, they're going to be able to make a little bit of an adjustment here because Worthy's going to play. He is going to be limited. He's going to be wearing a brace. I don't know how high he's going to be able to lift that arm up to block or make a catch. So that is a concern. They didn't get any run game going. Jalen Carter's coming back from the spit. Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles here, minus 1.5. The Eagles also kind of just own the Chiefs. They played them really well. Took a kind of a fluky play to win that first Super Bowl against the Eagles. I think the Eagles just have the Chiefs number. They're a far better team. We might see some better stuff. Never count out Patrick Mahomes, but I'm going to take the Eagles against the Chiefs on the road in the first road dog for the Chiefs, maybe in the Mahomes era. Okay, Sunday Night Football, the Atlanta Falcons traveling to my Minnesota Vikings, laying the 4.5 at home. And look, I'm not going to overbuy into the J.J. McCarthy hype. It was a fantastic comeback for my Vikings team. And the defense made some adjustments, and they look strong. But the injury report is long, short week for my Vikings. And the Falcons, a tough loss for them. They really should have won that Tampa Bay game. Felt like they outplayed them. But they weren't able to get the ball going, running anything. Like, it was just a real struggle for them to run the football. Bijan had a great day on the ground, which does concern me. The Vikings defense does give up receptions to the tight end and the running back position, which is really the only guys they have to throw to. Darnell Mooney's out. Drake London's banged up. He might also be out. This Falcon defense doesn't super scare me too much. I think the Vikings run game is going to be potent in this one. They're going to be able to attack them and then hit them with the play action and let the kid cook. That, however, being said, the Vikings do love to play one-score games, and they don't like getting my blood pressure rising unless it's a field goal or less. So give me the Falcons getting 4.5 here. I think my Vikings win this one, but the 4.5, a little too stiff for us early in the season. Okay, we got a Monday night doubleheader. Game one, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to the Houston Texans, and I do like the Buccaneers in the spot getting 2.5 points, but I think the Texans are going to have a bounce-back spot here. Offensive line is a major major concern. It was really bad. This is the worst offensive line in the league, I think. CJ Stroud, I didn't think played bad given the circumstances. He did a good job spreading the ball, and he wasn't really able to have a big game from Nico Collins, and the run game was kind of all over the place. It was nice to see Nick Chubb have some success on the ground. Back to being Nick Chubb, probably never, but being productive, you love to see it. This Texans defense is awesome, though. One of the best defensive units in the league. They're good at all three levels. On the D, they can cover people, they can get after the quarterbacks, they tackle well. Just a unit out there. Buccaneers, bad secondary. That is a concern. Great against the run, bad secondary. And the Buccaneers offense still a little banged up. I do love Emeka Ibuka. I started him in fantasy, told everybody to start him in fantasy, paid dividends. Baker did not have a good game against Atlanta. It was kind of gritty. No Tristan Wirfs, no Chris Godwin still. They're going to have to rely on this run game, but this is a stiff Texans defense. I'm going to go with the Texans here. I do like the Buccaneers a lot. I think they're a sleeper in the NFC, but I think the Texans get a win here at home Monday night. Nice bounce back spot for Houston. And finally, the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to the Las Vegas Raiders after spending last week in Brazil. So a lot of travel for the Chargers, racking up the miles early, and I liked what I saw from both of these teams. I loved what I saw from the Chargers. Justin Herbert playing like the talent we know Justin Herbert is, year 2 with Jim Harbaugh. And guess what? If Quentin Johnston's going to learn how to catch the football, this is a very scary team. The defense I was concerned about, doesn't matter. Minter and Harbaugh, elite combo, offense, defense, they figure it out. They get it done. Defense played well against Kansas City. I mean, it took a whole heroic effort from Mahomes to keep that game even close. Want to see more out of Omarion Hampton, get him some more touches. He looked like he was shot out of a cannon every time he touched the ball. Najee Harris getting in the mix as well. But if Ladd McConkey's going to catch the ball like we know he is, and Quentin Johnston's actually going to catch the football, this Chargers offense is dynamic. But Pete Carroll and the Raiders did a great job in week 1. Geno Smith was slinging that thing. They really struggled to run the ball against the Patriots, though, which is a concern. They need to get this run game established to really help open up that play action. Brock Bowers also a little banged up. We'll see how that goes. They ran a lot of double tight end sets. I did like that as well. But Harbaugh and Pete Carroll have a history, and Harbaugh has gotten the better of Pete Carroll a lot more than Pete Carroll's gotten the better of Harbaugh. So at only 3.5, I'm going to swallow the points, take the Chargers minus 3.5. But that's going to do it for us this week. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Who are you taking this week? What are your favorite bets? Let me know down below. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We're going to have a long form video every single day of the football season. So that means video or live stream. Something. You're going to get sick and tired of my face if you aren't already. So hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing. If you want to check out one of your teams in person, head on over to SeatGeek.com. Use code afterthereview for $20 off your first purchase. That's SeatGeek.com. Code afterthereview for $20 off your first purchase. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.